What's up, everyone? This is Aerodynamics Pro Tour Week 120. My aim spot here is the bottom arrow, kind of on the left side of this tree trunk, and I just pull straight back on a forehand with the accurate windbreak musket, and it usually gets me right in tap-in range, if not a tap-in. Pretty much take this play anytime I have a 3 or a 2 crosswind going right to left on that hole. And this is post commentary because I already take long when I'm not doing commentary, let alone when I am. So this is a backhand with the Light Glide Ballista Pro, and I actually like for the trees to slow me down here. If you get it in the right spot with the right kind of wind, you can actually do like a bit of an ace run with the Light Glide and also Glide Skip Ballista Pros. So there's that. Third hole here. So I've been messing up this hole lately. I can't remember if I did on this one. I feel like I did. Yeah, so I was thinking this is going to fight the wind off more. This is a Glide Wind Ballista, and the wind just really put quite a bit of turn on it, and I just ended up hitting that tree. Even watching it again, I'm just like, man, what a waste. So then here I just did full power with the accurate windbreak fuse from 176 feet, knowing it was going to get some collision from that bush. And can't overstate the value of familiarizing yourself with which foliage is going to leave you with some collision impact. That's pretty important in Pro Tours, I think. So aim point here is bottom of the bottom arrow. Pull straight back on a backhand with the accurate windbreak musket. And I haven't gone into this lake unless I make the accidental mistake of disking up to the accurate glide musket. But otherwise you end up with like 50 to 70 feet maybe for birdie here. So pretty consistent line that I think I got from Soul Food. Definitely go for the Albatross with a roller. So this is the Roll Glide Ballista Pro. And my aim spot there is the bottom arrow, kind of just below the tree trunk that I aimed at there. Trying to snake through the trees. I like to get through these two big trees, but then I actually like a line going to the left, so I missed my roller line here. But you can see I kind of luck out, and it's part of the reason I like that line that I go for is because if you miss it to the right or left, you can kind of luck out and still have an albatross look. If you end up OB there on the albatross try, you can usually save birdie unless you hit another tree on the on the follow-up shot. So here from 125 feet, I'm using the bottom of the top band as my aim point, and just below this first like Wi-Fi curve is what I'm doing with the accurate windbreak fuse. Trying to play the camera pan to hopefully save albatross on this shot. And I like to take my time on these to really make sure that I see what I want. And in this case, that worked out just fine. Always love getting the albatross on that one. As opposed to the one on, I think it's Lakeside 4, which is very much a gimme in pretty much any wind. That one does not feel like that, so... here, I'm usually Glide Skip Ballista Pro off the tee. Unless I get a really powerful tailwind, I might use like the Light Glide instead. But I was trying to set myself up for an eagle look here, actually, which I have eagled this hole not frequently, but it's definitely possible if you get kind of close enough to the OB lines here in the front and to the left. So I think I'm using accurate windbreak musket here, and gonna kind of go right at like the top of that banner there, and with the one tailwind that should get me across without going across. So I kind of half-heartedly did an eagle run there, but I wasn't trying to go OB far. Especially once I got the albatross, it felt like I made up for the for that Alwood miss on Alwood 1. So still kind of kicking myself. I remember at this point in the round for missing that Alwood 1 shot, but I think I was also psychologically just trying to let that go and do as well as I could from here. So I like to use Accurate Wind River on this one. And there's a few shots I use the river for, this being one. couple different winds. I'm gonna probably disc up to the accurate wind musket, or even disc down to an accurate glide fuse. But that just depends on if there's a headwind or a tailwind. With a 1 or a 2 wind, I'm pretty much going accurate wind, wind river on this one all day. Blueberry 1 with a 3 wind. I wasn't totally sure here. I guess I was trying to use my accurate windbreak musket. My aim spot is kind of right next to that, like the top of that tree trunk. I'm kind of on the right side of that. And then I'm not quite full power here. Slightly down from full power. Trying to sneak it in, and oh man, that's right. I forgot that both of those blueberry runs were super close. I think I got metal on both. I remember being like, man, I remember feeling like if I hit one of those aces, that would have been true redemption for that Owlwood mistake earlier. With the 3 wind here, I was considering running it with like an accurate glide musket, but I decided to use accurate wind and kind of play it safe. I felt like I would rather minimize having just an easy comebacker at that point in the round. I think I was still kind of feeling a little remnant salty from that Owlwood hole, so yeah, I posted a -10, and yeah, I just remember being like, man, I could have had a -11 on round 1. I think that would have been the hot round if I'd managed that, but still in a good spot after round 1, so I just kind of rolling straight through into round 2. Forehand glide wind recoil on this. Aim spot is the left side of the left bottom side of the rock, and then just full send. And this one, I like to just sneak right over that. If you get lucky, that bush actually slows you down, and then you can kind of even get like a tap-in eagle there. I honestly hate these little like 15-20 foot putts because I just always feel like I'm gonna get an unlucky chain out on those. But so here I like to go forehand, and my aim point is the bottom of the top green arrow, and I'm aiming at the middle of these 3 trees in the distance there. Straight back with a glide skip Ballista Pro, hoping not to hit that rock. And I remember I just cleared it on the left side there, and that was like a fist, like punch the air kind of victory kind of feeling moment right there. So this one, usually if it's more of like a straight up crosswind, this is a decent aim point for a straight back pull. But with the bit of the tailwind aspect, it really just carries it past what I was kind of hoping for. I was actually asking, I was like, come on, like, don't skip. I was hoping I would get a failed skip there, but you never get a failed skip when you need one. So here I have a 134 foot comebacker, and once again I'm kind of kicking myself. I think I messed up hole 3 on both rounds 1 and 2, so I'm doing my best to salvage this shot. And with the 3 headwind, once again I'm kind of just past the first Wi-Fi curve with the accurate windbreak fuse, playing the camera pan, trying to sneak it in here. And lately I've been leaving these shots short and hitting cage. This time I kind of did the opposite and hit the top band. So that was another one that felt like definitely a stroke left on the table. I needed a better drive. I could have still saved it with the comebacker, but I mean, that was a tough comebacker, so. Feeling like I left 2 strokes on the table so far, but still having a decent run. Once I set up this, I was feeling good because I was like, okay, I can kind of get some momentum going, and I remember seeing some 13s and 14s that posted, so I was just trying to make something happen here. Got a little lucky snaking through those trees there, but I like to play this backside on the swamp here and use that. So there I was using the roll glide for the glides kind of stick to the ground function when it lands. And this leaves me with an easy comebacker for birdie. Another option there is forehand off the tee, aiming like kind of far to the left and using a powered down glide skip to skip over that part. That's kind of a play here. Considered going for the ace on Spider Tree, but with the 2 tail, I was feeling I was dreading it, so I decided to go for a tap in with the accurate glide musket instead. And that's basically what I got. So loving seeing these par 4s coming up. I think this one I'm trying to remember oh yeah, okay, so I'm always looking for this specific gap, which I missed to the left here. I actually wanted to be like 1 row of trees over, so I end up hitting this tree, and now I gotta scramble. So I'm like, okay, what are my options here? So at this point, I'm thinking of laying up for birdie, but I'm like, nah, forget that. I want to go for the I want to go for the win. So I'm trying to find a gap that will kind of work whether or not I get collision. I'm hoping that I don't get collision right now, but I'm also trying to consider if I do get collision, will my GlideSkip Ballista Pro still wind up in bounds? And this is kind of the line that I take. Sometimes I pick a line that I feel like will split two possibilities. In this case, I don't get collision, so it works out exactly as I was hoping for, basically. Like semi close to like a bit of an albatross run there, but I definitely loved that shot. I was like, yeah. So that was cool to watch that again. I think this is Lakeside 5 here. Definitely not a gimme eagle. If you go too far with the accurate, even windbreak musket here, even in a lot of winds, you can go swimming. So I try to kind of end up on the top or just over the hill. And then if I'm inside of like 225 feet, I'll use the accurate windbreak fuse. Past that, I'll use the accurate windbreak river. So this point, I kind of line up on the left side of the pin and a little bit lower than it. And then I treat it pretty much like Sunshine Glade 1 with slightly uphill. That's kind of how this one works in my distance map mind. So playing the camera pan and hoping I can sneak it in. And once you see that line, I was just like, yes! So that eagle definitely felt like redemption for the missed Oak Hill shot. So I felt like I got one back right there. This is definitely feeling good at this point in the round. But I was kind of a little bit kicking myself here. This is kind of just a simple layup with an accurate wind river. But I was still kind of kicking myself. I was like, man, if I had gotten those two strokes on Alwood 1 and Oak Hill 1, I'd be sitting awful pretty right now. There's an ace run that I like to take here in some winds. Usually only like a 1, maybe 2 wind if I'm feeling really great. And then here again, I'm going to lay it up with an accurate wind river. It's considering an ace run again, but I was just like, there's no need to. Especially because I was like, I think this will put me within 20 or so of the leader. Yeah, so with a 10 on round 1 and a 14 on round 2, it brought me to 24 after 2 rounds, so I'm only 19 behind the lead on my leaderboard. And getting ready for round 3. Thanks for watching.